Welcome to a brand new. I'm kidding. Welcome to a brand new episode of the post game. I'm your host Davion. I'm joined by Matt, Oronde, Freddie, and Omega.
What's poppin'?
What up? Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Today we are back recording the final, thank God, Western Conference.
Western.
Listen, I'm tired, y'all. This is late.
Wild card.
Wild
Super
card.
wild card weekend.
NFL Super Wild Card Weekend. We're recording this at
There we
12
go.
o'clock. Had a long day. PM. So listen, we're looking at the last game, the Philadelphia Eagles versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eagles fans, let us know, talk to you, cry in the comments. I'm so excited to hear your sorrows and pain and suffering. Buccaneers fans, you guys are clowns. I don't really care. So
Saints fan. Sorry, guys.
Amen
yeah,
to
sorry.
that.
Anyway, Tampa Bay Buccaneers won 32-9. Talk to me. What Freddie, you would talk or Oronde's hand.
I want to go
Oronde can go
first.
first. He can go
I
first.
was
He can go
talking
first.
smack to all my Eagles friends, even
Right.
though I'm sad because Jason Kelsey retired after 13 years.
Yeah, shout
What
out
an
Jason
awesome,
Kelsey.
what an awesome
Bow
lineman.
down. One of the greatest to ever do it. Well done. Well
Love
done.
that guy.
Man.
But that is all the praises I sing for this team. We've been calling them trash for the last 5 weeks. This team has been frauds. They've had no identity since the Niners beat them. And they said, we gave y'all the playbook, the script, the Eagles stink. Baker went in there, not even went in there from home. Baker played lights out. And just how do you go from being a preseason Super Bowl favorite to being bounced out in the first round? It's just incredibly disappointing.
That's crazy, bro. When they were like 10-1, right?
Yeah.
10-1.
So they started 10-1.
And then lost 6 of the last 7 or something like that.
Yep.
Also, another one more thing before I pass the torch here. Jalen Hurts is just Carson Wentz with a better PR manager.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What? What happened? I ain't.
Jalen Hurts is a quote merchant with a great PR manager.
He's like, what's his face? What's that idiot in Denver? Russell.
Russell.
Yeah.
Russell better. Simple.
I will say this too. I do not want any more comparisons about Cam Newton and Jalen Hurts. Period. Thank
Not
you.
even close.
Did
Not
you guys
even
see the
close.
highlight reel of his
His
record breaking
rushing touchdowns? Pretty crazy.
rushing touchdowns?
Probably got 10
Shout out
yards total.
Vita Vea for stopping a tush push. Absolute goated for that.
Yeah.
That linebacker. Full helmet.
So I got a couple things to say real quick. Firstly, when you're looking at the Eagles, I've been saying this for about 4 weeks now. Well, I will say this: starting 10-1, losing, was it 5 of your last 6 or whatever it is?
To the last 7, I believe.
The problem in Philly is coaching. They expected that they went out, recruited all this talent, picked up all these guys, had a great draft. But the problem is that they expected their talent to win their football games. They didn't think about development. They didn't think about bettering themselves. They didn't think about any of this stuff. They just thought, oh, our talent's good enough to win us football games. That's not how the NFL works. They didn't get better. I mean, all these games, they started off 10-1. They barely won some of these games. And the thing is that Philly and Nick Sirianni, I think it's very early to call, but you just won Super Bowl last year. You stink it up this season. I think it might be time for Sirianni to go because this team just does not back him. This team doesn't respect him, and I think it's obvious.
He's lost the locker room, and on top of the fact, they should have lost to the Patriots early in their season. And the Patriots are crap.
Didn't they fire their previous defensive coordinator like in the middle of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I right?
Yeah.
So that definitely was like the ultimate reason. I think they just overreacted on that one because the coaching is the reason why the Eagles lost, period. And injuries, I will say. No AJ Brown does not help.
AJ Brown was checked out, and I think it was obvious why.
Right. And it's like the fact The fact that Matt Patricia still has a job is kind of crazy to me. He's never been a good coach, and the fact that he was their DC and they got worse is just
which is his
concerning to
original
see.
position. He's originally
Still,
a
yeah, that's what I'm
defensive
saying.
guy, and he can't do anything with their players.
And it's just like they just looked like they just didn't care. I mean, the tackling was awful.
Their angles were terrible.
Their angles weren't right. Like they just
Bradbury.
looked exhausted.
I've coached better middle schoolers than this Eagles secondary.
It's true. I mean, do
yeah.
y'all remember that final TD when Baker just threw it up to Godwin? Like, what was that?
Yeah.
like that was just weak effort. Like, come on. Like, I know you're losing, but it's like this is the playoffs.
Man.
Like, do something.
Man, can I get the torch? Can I get the torch?
Go for
Take
it.
the torch.
Let me get that because I didn't even really watch the full game. I watched highlights and then I watched the fourth quarter. And what I saw, man, that's what they've been doing all year. Like y'all said, they've just been they've been skating by, coasting by, winning very close ones. And it just showed this year. I think somebody mentioned it. It just comes back to their coordinators. Like when those two coordinators they lost, that was huge. Like because their offensive coordinator needs to be gone.
Mhm.
Matt Patricia, he's still a defensive coordinator for what? Like he hasn't been a good coach since he was on the Patriots before the Lions. But yes,
It's been years since he's been good.
yes, like you feel me? Like,
and speaking of
just
coordinating, how do you throw more screens than Josh McDaniels?
I
With
know
this
the answer
skill
to that
position,
question. I know the answer to that question. You hire Frank Reich.
Yeah, I just said that. I just said that.
that wasn't funny. That
because
wasn't funny.
because like how do you okay, I saw a tweet, someone pointed it out to me because I didn't see the early part of the game. They threw a slant and it almost went for a touchdown and never threw another slant the rest of the game. It was like it was an accident.
When they were running the ball in the first quarter, it was working, and then they just stopped because they were down. Like,
I understand throwing because you're behind, but
it's like it was
to
only
dispatch your
it was
running
only
game
10 points.
To dispatch your running game just because you're down 10 is crazy. That's not even desperation. That's just stupidity.
Oh yeah, Julio Jones got dazed that game too. I don't know if y'all seen that.
What happened to him?
He got concussed. It was
Julio about to retire.
Chin strap was on his mouth. He needs to go home and
They
be
about
a
to
family
make.
man.
They about to make. The Eagles about to make Julio retire too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that boy Jason Kelsey. After that game, he's like, "Yeah, this ain't it." Forced my man into retirement.
You know what's bad if Howie Roseman's waiting for you in front of the locker room. Like, why is your front office waiting for you at the locker room? That's how you know it's bad. That's just pitiful. I thought the Cowboys loss was bad, and then this happens.
This one was definitely worse because I knew they weren't gonna win because AJ Brown was out, but like they got embarrassed. Like embarrassed. Like they just I don't know. I don't know what they need to do, but I do know what the first two things they need to do is get rid of the dead weight in the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Because that ain't it.
I actually didn't think they were gonna lose that game. I thought, what like the Chiefs I expected those teams to wake up in the playoffs, but they didn't. They just rolled over and died. So well. Any final thoughts when it comes to the Eagles or the Bucks? Oh, the Bucks. We didn't even talk about the Bucks.
Baker gets another playoff win. I'm so happy for him because I know it just upsets Davion a lot. I think Tampa got a safety in the game. They got a freaking safety. What an embarrassment to the Eagles. I'm very much happy because I love hearing the cannons go off when the points are scored.
Baker Mayfield stats 22 for 36, 337, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You want me to apologize now or later?
Go ahead and apologize now.
I'm gonna
Well,
wait.
no,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
wait.
It's only a first round win. Give me a
Come
couple.
on. Come
Play
on.
the Eagles.
If they
Come
beat
on.
Give me a
Detroit,
half
if they
point.
make
Give me a
if
half
they
point.
make the NFC Championship,
If they make the NFC Championship, they'll be the Atlanta Hawks from like four years ago when they went to the
yes.
from the to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I will
That's
say this.
funny.
I will say this. If they win next week, I will come on here and publicly apologize to Baker Mayfield for all the things that I've done and said. So I'd look forward to that. Come back next week to see that anyway.
I look forward to it.
I will say this. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, you're
I
fine.
do want to sincerely apologize to the Buccaneers for saying before the season started that they were going to win like 4 or 5 games. Like I will apologize for that.
I'll take that back too.
They set me up.
I'll take that back too.
You
I don't
feel
remember
me?
what I
Like,
said. I'm gonna be honest. I thought they would be one of the better ones, but
Well,
They
anyway.
they met my expectations, so I ain't got nothing to say sing but my own praises. Saints fan, shut up. Hey, this is your division we're talking about.
You have 2 wins this year? 2? If that?
I had more than 2.
And a half?
More than 2.5, sir.
Whatever. I've been your host, Davion. Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Davion. It's been Matt, Oronde, Freddie, and Omega. This has been the post game. Peace.